Astros clinched a series yesterday, beat Arizona. Game 3 going on now. We'll talk about that once it goes final. But 3-1 victory for the Astros yesterday. Blankers, Mariners won, but Toronto lost. I think Detroit lost too. So you still have the 5-game lead. You're now tied with Toronto for the second best record in the American League, and you're a half game behind Detroit for the best record in the AL.
Yeah, look, I mean, it's just you just keep scratching your head about how are they able to do this. And last night was one of those games again where, how I started the season and I felt like, man, this lineup just looks so depleted that when they got down in games, I felt like turning it off. And then lo and behold, it got worse and it got worse and it got worse in terms of the injuries, but yet the results keep getting better. And they keep, even when they don't win games, they keep coming back and they keep eliminating deficits, tying ball games, forcing them to the end. Last night was another one of those games where you're like, man, this really sucks because Framber pitched his tail off and you're going to lose 1-0 to a team that you should probably beat. And lo and behold, in the 8th inning, they pieced it together. They did just enough to get another victory, and you go to bed happy, and you look at it and go, yet another game where at the start of it, when you saw the lineup and you know what this team has gone through, you didn't give them much of a chance, and yet here you are.
What's the storyline from yesterday's game? Is the storyline that Framber Valdez was very, very good, or was it that Bryce Matthews hit another home run to put the Astros ahead and was the go-ahead RBI?
I think that it's hard to turn your cheek to Bryce Matthews. I think that you've gotten so used to Framber being Framber that, people just kind of go, when he pitches, and you saw the record going into the game about when he starts a game, how good your chances are of winning. But the fact that the big headline that everybody's going to focus on is this has been the Bryce Matthews show in this series in Arizona, and now with 3 bombs and 7 RBIs in the series, you're like, most people's attention are going to be drawn to the young kid that's showing out right now.
Thank you for using RBIs in the correct plural sense. Bryce Matthews became one of 3 Astro hitters under the age of 24 to have recorded 3 homers and 7 RBIs over a 2-game span in franchise history. The other 2 were Correa and Yordan Alvarez.
Oof.
And look, Bryce isn't going to be either one of those guys, but that's pretty good company. Whenever you're, at least in terms of production, I don't think you want their health issues, but that's pretty good company for Bryce Matthews.
Yes, absolutely it is. And again, you want everybody to kind of set their own career path and make their own, legacy, so to speak. But yeah, if you're in company with those 2 guys, you're in pretty good hands right now. And look, and everybody likes to because of the fact that he struggled a little bit when he first got up, but he only played 5 games. And now suddenly 7 games in, you're looking at it totally different, going, this kid looks like he could be the real deal. And if he is, that's a hell of a find for Dana, but that's a hell of a right find at the right time for a team that keeps trying to get guys to step up.
His first 3 games were against dudes, too. Yeah. Remember, he went against Leiter,
That's
DeGrom,
right.
And then he sat the final game of the Ranger series. And then the first pitcher he faced with Seattle was Castillo. So,
that's right.
Welcome to the big leagues, Bryce Matthews. And, look, he likes elevation. He's feasted in the PCL before, so, of course, you want to see him hit elsewhere. But very, very promising for Bryce Matthews. He was the hero yesterday. Framber, also a hero. I mean, he probably is going to have to buy Bryce Matthews a steak dinner because Bryce Matthews' home run gave Framber Valdez the victory. He's now 11-4, the 2.67 ERA. His ERA is 2.67. Will he get $267 million on the open market this offseason?
Boy, I'll tell you what, I was thinking about it during the course of the game last night, wondering how long and for what AAV is he going to get. And I got to believe he's going to get probably between 27 and 30 something a year for probably 5. So, I think the Astros aren't going over 5. I think that other teams are going to probably flirt with, no matter if it's going to be 32 or he's 32, 6 minimum for him. He'll be flirting with 180 to 200 million.
Framber's 31 years old, 246 days. So this is his age 32 year. Max Fried is 31 years old, 186 days. So Fried is, what is that? I guess 60 days younger than Framber, roughly. Max Fried this offseason got 8 years, $218 million. I think that there's similar value in terms of production, those two. I think Framber is going to be flirting with 225. I think he'll be flirting with an 8-year deal. Kind of depends on what he wants to do. But I don't think he gets up to the ERA number. I don't think he gets 267. I think he caps out around 250. Probably doesn't get to 250. Probably more in the 220, 225 range. But no, he's going to get paid. He's going to get paid, and he's turning it on in a walk year.
he is definitely going to get more years and more money than the Astros are willing to give.
Oh, no doubt. No doubt. Do you think he'll surpass Fried's 218?
I don't. When you said that, I would say, yeah, he's definitely getting $200 million. I don't think he's getting over 220. I just feel like there's going to there's going to be a market for sure, and someone's going to give him 6. I don't think that they're going to give him if it's for 6. I don't think they're giving him enough to make it over 220.
You like Fried more than Framber?
I do.
Really?
I can, yeah.
Why?
I don't know. For some reason, I just feel like Framber in the next couple of years is going to deal with some arm issues.
That's random.
I know. I just feel like look, and I think it's conversations we've had in the past too, to where I just don't trust giving a starting pitcher on today's market.
Same.
A long-term deal. And so watching Framber as much as I have, and look, he's been a stud. I just think that the Astros are probably wise not to give him that long-term deal. I think someone is going to, and just like almost everybody we've seen from a pitching perspective, the Garrett Cole and others, leave, they're probably going to deal with some arm issues. I like what I love what he's done previously, and I like what Framber does. I don't know. To me, both those, I think Fried got way overpaid, and I think Framber will get close to it.
I like Framber more than Fried. I think somebody's going to pay Framber. I don't know if he gets Fried's money, though, but I like Framber more than Fried. I would bet the over, though, if I had to. Framber with the victory, now tied for the American League wins lead. Crochet and Fried have 11. Framber now has 11, too. So kind of funny that we're talking about Fried and Valdez, and there they are, the 2 of the 3 guys in the American League with 11 wins. But he was nails yesterday. He was very, very good. Did you see the little the chirping he had with the dugout? What was that all about?
With Framber?
Yeah, remember they had the play at the plate, and they got the guy at the plate,
right.
And then their manager, Tony V or whatever his name is, he came out there to argue it, and I don't even know he's arguing because I was watching the game on mute because I was around company. I think he was arguing that Yiner didn't give him a clear path to the plate, which was incorrect. He did give him a clear path to the plate, but the umpires got together, they chatted for a while, and then Framber struck out the next guy to end the inning. And, he looked over at the Arizona dugout and, flapped his glove, kind of butterflied his glove towards the dugout. And then they showed Bannister with his hat off.
That, I don't know if it was it Torey Lovello?
Yeah, Lovello, that's it.
Yeah, I guess maybe I didn't, maybe I had the volume down too and I was falling in and out of consciousness at the time. But, I just think from a Framber perspective, that's a little surprising. I must have missed that one. But I can tell you that the first thing after than just how he pitched last night that you and I normally debate a little bit about, I don't feel comfortable about him fielding his position at all.
I feel like he's a little the bunt where they got the bunt base hit.
Yep.
I think he got a little lazy on that. He threw off his back foot, didn't really step into it a whole lot. I felt like he could have got the out there. It was a tough play. It was a 50-50 play. Now, he did have that the nice snare on the comebacker.
Yes,
was it the first or second inning?
Yes.
I think for a lot of times Framber's lack of defense or where he frustrates me is that he's a little overconfident with his defense and thinks he can make some plays that he cannot. And it could usually lead to disaster.
I'll tell you what I see. I see a guy that is scared to death to throw a baseball hard to first base and anywhere other than home plate because it seems like he's aiming everything and taking a whole lot off of it on every throw. And that's why I always go every time he throws it because I'm like, he's not letting it go. He's not trusting it. And because he's holding back, runners have a good chance of beating that out. And it is definitely cringeworthy when he has to field his position.
He does throw changeups to first.
Oh, my God.
There was one play, it had to have been yesterday, where, it was a very routine play, an easy play, and then he babied it over to first, and all of a sudden, a very easy routine out was a bang-bang out.
Yeah.
He still got him out, but it's man, okay, he used every bit of that he could.
I think even Walker, you see his face sometimes when he's coming. He's like, come on, man. Bring it to me with some heat because they were way too close. Yes.